We have 3 duelists for Paradox right now.
Oh,
I don't know the last time I've seen 3 duelists in a competitive game.
It's an interesting composition here, and I have to say, Nation now in the arena. Attack side, though, favors Paradox with these duelists, and for the side of McBTS, they've got the Viper, they've got the Killjoy here for the setup, if necessary. Zenkoko now clutching back to the Jets, always good to see him on a comfort pick. Paradox, though, starting with this A-hold, A-take already to come in. 1-for-1 immediately, though. Clutchy trying to fight this maze position. He's being taken by Belt, taken a bit low as well. McBTS stabilized for the moment, but Paradox are still knocking at the door.
Clutchy still has shields in this part as well. He's really just taken down the barrel. He's had so many faces in the server on his screen. Now, finally, he's looking for another one. He will be able to find it onto Indy. Paradox, they have managed to find 1 frag, but now they are looking to just steer things back over toward the B site. If they want to go back towards A, of course they can. Toxic screen is going to be pulled up here from McBTS. The Paradox, yeah. This pistol has gone a little bit awkward for them right now. But they slowed down, 35.
Paradox. Interesting to see, and we didn't get to touch on it because that pistol started off explosively. Nation on the radar, normally known for a different style of play. And, you know, we spoke about his Killjoy. We spoke about his other agents that, of course, he likes to pick in the pregame. But now they're starting to still go towards this A site. 15 seconds now on the clock. McBTS, though, it's still clutchy in this site with this Sheriff doing bits, to say the least. Screen position now being forward pushed here by Sicko. Right click to the feet of Exempt. A weird way to close it, but McBTS are going to take that pistol off of Paradox.
Yeah, they gather it in the end. It wasn't too convincing, however. 2 players alive, though. They'll take that. Clutchy, I still don't really know how he was still able to survive. It looks like everybody on Paradox saw him at one point in the round. But hey, he was alive. McBTS, they enter in the round. And I think one of the biggest things for them in this map, right, is probably to win it convincingly, right? It's to win it with a big scoreline difference to go over towards split, feeling a little bit better, because I dare say that they would not. Expecting that scoreline over on the first map of Bind.
Yeah, very upset and coming into this one with a vengeance, we'd have to say. Cora up close with the Judge. Marshall coming out from Clutchy. Trying to get some early shots here. Sheriff from Sicko up towards the top of A. For the moment, Paradox playing this one a little bit scattered there. Nation able to capitalize on the timing, catching Clutchy off guard. Looking for another towards Sicko. On top of it, is able to find it. Nation ripping heads left and right to start it off. Wall goes up. And McBTS are now in a bit of a rough spot. They do able to stabilize, though. Judge from Koro's good. Close range and spike dropped here by Paradox.
Yeah, the spike will go down. 3 versus 3 situation. Just seeing what damage Paradox can do from here on out of the back of this barrier wall as well. Zenkoko just fade. He might have 2 players staring at him, but he's able to see farewell to 1. The flank out from Koro now to find Nation, and it's all going to be down to Delusion with 58 points of HP and shooting out a right click. Don't know if that was intentional. Bait out the boys, see if he can get a closing frag here. Not going to be the case, however, as with BTS. They'll find the second, but now we look to transition in toward the bonus. Will this be the time for Paradox to get on the scoreboard?
We saw it from McBTS in that last game. It was Paradox taking pistol, then McBTS started off with a pretty convincing lead, then Paradox were able to inch it back slowly, bit by bit, and well, it's going to be bonus here from the side of McBTS, though they have a Vandal on the hands of Sicko. 1 away from the knives for Clutchy, and very close to the ultimates here from the side of Paradox. The Nation 1 away from the Empress, and 3 away from the showstopper here. Paradox probably looking to take these fights and get some ults available for themselves.
Oof. Big amount of damage already onto Azo. Something we haven't actually touched upon as well as he goes from Viper to Sage. So you'll be still on that a little assistive line, but Clutchy, he's not looking to be assistive whatsoever. He's looking to be damaging, dashing on through, missing out a blade. Will want some HP back towards his body if possible as well. Azo going to get revealed on out, but no one can quite capitalize on that in the meanwhile. Illusion has pushed himself up through towards this tube. No Sage Wall has gone down there to start on off is something that you tend to see over on ICEBOX, but for naught right now, McBTS, they will start off with the opening frag by Clutchy.
Very nicely lined up knife there. Leaves a bit of a sour taste here in Paradox's mouth for the moment. You can see a push starting to come into fruition here from McBTS, and Coco going far forward for that gun. He's going to pay for it with his life. Delusion able to take that kill, though quickly answered by Koro. Paradox, though, set the pace over towards this B site. Smoke's available for the Jet if necessary, but
30 seconds
they decide to fake it. They're going towards A here, Dion.
Yeah, Azo's already through. He can get the barrier wall going up towards screens, or he could push forward if he required. So he can get a lot of things happening right now. But Exempt, he has fallen by the wayside, and now Azo falls as well. And things are just crumbling for Paradox. This is a bonus round for McBTS. Remember right now, Tony, it would be expected that Paradox to be able to find this one, but they're not going to be able to do so. It would seem right now Indy finds Clutchy with the misstep of the blades. Sicko will get the trade in the end. So McBTS, they shut down the little bonus there of themselves, or rather they gather the bonus of themselves. They shut down Paradox's first purchase, and I guess this is what I was kind of expecting going into WOT, right?
Yeah, it's definitely interesting to see the triple duelist coming out here from Paradox, and no really set smoker here, no Brim, no Viper, no Astra in play here for Paradox. We saw the Astra from them, of course, in a different tournament. I believe it's the ESL. And, well, it's interesting to see no Viper either. We saw Azo go off a treat on that agent in the last map. And maybe Paradox are overthinking it a little bit to start this one off.
Yeah, well, potentially so. They've gone in with 3 duelists, so they've gone in with some sort of plan on this map. Maybe the ICEBOX pick, you know, not the expected outcome. But they will, of course, see what they're going to be able to do. A 1-on-1 trade out. Still favoring McBTS right now. Shots on through. Sicko not tickled by that Marshall. And now Clutchy will not find Exam. Thought he'd be able to find that one quite easily. But McBTS, I mean, if they drop only one player here, they'll be quite happy with this one. They know that they've got the rifles around the corner from Paradox once more. So this is where... I guess on this sort of duelist play from Paradox, right? We see a lot of rounds with haste come out for them, hopefully.
I have the spike.
Yeah, hopefully we see a little bit more of a pace picked up here by Paradox's. Well, Exempt has found a kill towards the front of A. Will be retrieving a Vandal and the spike for himself, but he's still got 3 players of McBTS to deal with. 30 seconds now on the clock. Tensai spotted out towards the screen side and a bit overzealous on the plants here, though. Clutchy able to find it. The shots coming in from the back of Zenkoko as well, and McBTS starting off ICEBOX. We expected them to give us this scoreline on Bind, but ICEBOX, I guess, a place to take it against Paradox.
Well, there was nice amounts of damage delivered from a Paradox in that round, but McBTS do pick it up in the end, and they do prop themselves up high on a pedestal in this round, it would seem. 2 operators to be brought on forwards. Clutchy expected, but not so from Tensai. So I'm going to be interested to see what he's going to be able to do. Currently posted up over on Boiler. See if he'll get hot under the collar or not. Huge reveal on the back of that recon dart. However, for now, as Paradox, they do look to align themselves in toward this A site. Bit of an elevation state for Indy as the showstopper gets brought on through. Exams, is he going to find anything? No. That's relatively unfortunate.
Oh my, chaotic fights going left and right, and unfortunate, as you said. No, the Sages trade 1 for 1. As, well, McBTS now have to deal with a Paradox spike plant. Initially, Indy in a very nice spot underneath the heaven line, under towards the rafters. Delusion looking for Clutchy, but Clutchy's 1 step ahead of him, and he's up top, takes a shot from the belt, dashes away to safety. McBTS have the positioning, they have the players to try and retake there. Zenkoko finding 2 immediately on that flank line. Nation, though, has popped. The Empress has got a dismiss.
Ooh.
Empress, no way, Nation! That's absolutely sick!
Yeah, that's relatively unfortunate for Tensai there as well with the operator. You know, any other weapon and he probably finds Nation on the equip time of that Vandal. Though, to be bringing out the pistol in a situation like that, that's why you tend to not see 2 operators be brought into a retake, right? Makes things very, very difficult, but very well placed from Paradox to at least align with 1 on the scoreboard. They will steal away one of these operators as Indy will pick it on up. Azo, Delusion on the lighter shields, but they've gotten a taste now, Tony, of a round on the boards, and Coco is going to immediately pop out the Viper's Pit here. Try to make sure that BTS, you know, have something started in the round and push Paradox over towards B.
Yeah, Viper's Pit denying. You can even see the front of A. It spills out towards Clutchy. He's very aggressive, I have to say, on this Jet op play and peeking towards middle. And well, a player like Clutchy, known to be played with inconsistency, of course, we spoke about in the pre-game, but hasn't been quite so. Clutchy's been quite steady, to say the least, in this series so far. BTS find that initial pick onto the Sage, and that leaves Paradox a little bit cautious here. They were opting to go towards B, but they're still outside of A for the moment.
This peeking from Zenkoko as well, he can prod in and out of his own smoke. He's gotten a bit of info on towards Exempt right now. If that operator had any little extra line of sight on toward over the belt, maybe we would have seen Indy be dispatched off at Zenkoko. But look, start to fall back. There's the opening, the operator frag from Clutch here. It will be traded on through, and as the spike is going to be recovered, BTS can elect to use their res if they want.
30 seconds left.
But this is the expected play from Paradox too. With that Viper's Pit down at A, they don't really want too much sort of investigation over here, but actually, as I said, that Exempt, he might be able to find something. Nope, he's going to get out of there.
Oh, very, very sketchy scenario to be in. Indy has popped the knives, and Paradox are over towards B, though. Clutchy still in this mid-line, knives straight to the dome. Another from Indy.
Spike, though. Immediately
answered, though. The spike is dropped. BTS continue the streak of good form on this defense side of ICEBOX, and I have to say, I give props to Clutchy and Sicko. They've been playing this game pretty well. Zenkoko as well, you saw take those initial fights and take that initial positioning towards the front side of A and really stop Paradox from doing anything.
Yeah, Paradox not really allowed an inch in this game so far, it would seem. They've been given their own rope in a couple of these rounds as well and kind of tumbled over. So we will witness what they can do on this little eco purchase. We've seen 3 frags before on a situation like this, but anything more for them hopefully would instill a bit of confidence. BTS though, you would expect them to be very confident moving forward. 5 rounds already unanswered. Holy Tensai, that's 3. He is cooking with absolute spice right now in this round. We didn't see too much from him in the beginning rounds, but that one, okay. Welcome to the server, Benny.
Tensai is here, front and forward and ready for duty. BTS, you know, they gave him a little bit of a pep talk maybe between maps. Tensai now on top of the board with Clutchy, and again, we didn't speak much about Tensai in that last game. He had a bit of I guess a shocker to say the least, especially against Paradox, though they played that MAP-2 at C. Tensai, though, one of those sharp players we've seen come over from Counter-Strike recently as well. I believe departing ways from that old Vertex roster, and now trying to make a name in a new game here, and BTS are making a name for themselves in this second map.
Certainly are trying to, that is for sure. They want to forget about Bind, forget about the outcome of that one, because they probably go into this match thinking that they are the more superior team and that they should be right, and so finding a proper 2-0, but they're not going to see that happen. We already have seen Paradox play map number 1, and now Paradox, they have to try and bring themselves back on this offensive side. They trail by 5. They've had one that was a close one as well. Koro now elevates himself, puts out. He's going to fall back. Indy, dead right. And with the lockdown going as well for BTS, they are trying to keep Paradox out of the side, who are able to finally get a kill on the board for this round and also escape the detain.
No, very nicely done there by Paradox. Heal not available yet for A zone, so Exempt's gonna have to be limping for the moment. Turret spotted by Nation. He can hear it too. He knows the position of it. Pierce Paradox have done a little bit of their homework. Now Tensai and Zenkoko have to hold down this A site initially. The res comes out for Indy, but Azo is going to pay for it with his life, though. Indy needs to answer for the sins of his teammate Zenkoko, lining up for 2, and Sicko. Zenkoko, though, front forward, finding another. Now left to Delusion. Not really much he can do against the ironclad defense of BTS. That's 7 now on the board, and they've already starting to take and run away with this half.
Yeah, it really does feel like with without any smokes on the side of Paradox, they're not able to obscure any of the vision over on mid BTS. They've only got one range of smokes as well, flashes, sorry, 2 leers to come out from Nation. Apart from that, everything is just relatively dry and almost one-dimensional from them. But BTS, they don't really have to adjust anything, right? They can just post up on their lines, find their frags that they need to, use their utility to keep Paradox at bay and to tickle their HP down to 0. So really, you're looking at this one, and McBTS, they should just be really finding everything where necessary, and they are, right? They are looking to just send Paradox into oblivion.
And we don't want to see side of Paradox really go down that spiral just yet. We saw from them they were able to answer for everything that McBTS were throwing at them in that last map, but this appears to be a different story. McBTS have a pretty comfortable lineup. Of course, Paradox going with the triple Dawson hasn't quite paid off for them yet. Of course, coming into attack side like ICEBOX, you'd almost favor the Doors to take the initial fights, but McBTS have been there every step of the way.
Really just looking to see what they're going to be able to finish off on this one on this half. Then Coco's going to be able to open up onto Delusion before he does get traded on out. Then it's just back to the sort of slow and methodical clearing for Paradox if they can. Clutch is going to be seen, post up on the line. It's just really kind of slow paced in this one, right? You're not expecting anything too dastardly to come out from Paradox, and if they do, well, we will absolutely welcome it.
Dart goes for the incel. Time ticking slowly almost to a stop, it would seem, in this round. You can sense the pressure that McBTS have put on Paradox to find these kills and find these rounds there. The outro, not going to spot Azo. He keeps his composure. He's got Spike though, and they're going front and forward into Cora's crosshair. He's only able to line up one. Has done some good damage though onto a second player. Tensai has been ever prevalent with his frenzy towards the screen side. Phantom actually, Nation able to trade it though. Looking for the plant now. Clutchy has pulled the knives. Tensai quite low, and Paradox, all things considered, might be looking at around here.
One enemy remaining.
Potentially so. Nation is able to find Tensai. Clutchy there with these blades, and he misses out the right click. Nation, he's had what? 2 clutches for 2 rounds. It is Nation and Co for Paradox right now.
Yeah, we didn't see much from Nation. It was really Azo lighting up the scoreboard for Paradox in that last map, but now we welcome Nation into the server. 10 and 7. Empress on his board as well. For the side of McBTS, they still have money to work with in these subsequent rounds. Paradox are going to need to string together these last few themselves.
Yeah.
Well, if they can get up to 5, that would be very welcome on the exchange of the halves as well, though I am kind of just thinking they don't have the smokes and everything, right? So, might just be very difficult for them. Kind of makes me think of Split. What are we going to be seeing if it does come out? Because, of course, there is still a world in which Paradox will be able to bring this one back. Tensai going to be posted back up on the operator. The Lear will not get him for now, as he will dispatch of Azo. The wall at least goes down. Clutch will find one on the op as well, and things are just going, you know, very forward for McBTS in this one. The reveal onto Delusion is going to almost just force him into the crosshairs of Tensai, where Korra now finds exempt. There's no feeling of pressure on this round for McBTS.
No, they've even got the flank here, Clutchy towards spawn side. Nation does rip his head off. Able to clear a path potentially over towards A now for Paradox. As McBTS have put all their eggs on this B basket, they're going to have to rotate out themselves. Nation and Delusion now 2v4. Smoke orb goes up and Tensai's already there to answer. Operator posted towards the screen side. As Paradox now try and cross on in. 30 seconds on the clock. Tensai lands the first shot. Nation now needs to answer again. It's a clutch scenario for him yet. And, well, I don't think he has it in him this time, Dion. Cora's going to find him from the back line. 8 to McBTS. A very strong half from them on this defense side of ICEBOX.
Yeah, if they make it 10 as well, that's just going to be a slap in the face over towards Paradox, especially on their own map pick too, right? They are able to go and take away BTS's map pick of buying 13 to 11 and then going over to their own. You would expect that they would be more comfortable in this, but it just doesn't give me the feeling of that right now. I kind of do wonder, you know, you talk about the preparations that they go into this and being able to talk with their coach and everything. Their full strategy of this agent lineup is a very interesting fact. is there the case of it was a misclick in the pre-lobby and they just didn't change it? I don't know. Probably not, because they would have been able to just go to the admin team and say, hey, we mispicked, can we just restart? I am just wondering, like, what is the planning for this 3 duelist lineup for them?
Maybe frag hard, put numbers up, and take the fight to McBTS. They haven't quite seemed to do so far. Clutchy. No, it's Sicko actually taking Delusion. That's the numbers we want to see now from Paradoxes. They take 2 immediately on the A site entry. Zenkoko, Tensai, and of course, the Sage to retake here. Zenkoko drops off the rafters now into the site. The Paradox have pretty comfortable post-plant scenarios. Koro with the res. Delusion trying to line up the shots. Can't quite find him on the Tensai. It's so unfortunate. Zenkoko to find 3. Azo and Indy now to try and hold this plant down themselves. Azo with the res on to exempt, and the lineup comes in. It's the last player standing, this time by McBTS. And well, Paradox might have stolen away this round just off of positioning alone, except to find the final kill. Paradox to finally find their 3rd.
Another one on the board. It was 1 in the difference split of the wickets there for that McBTS one that they gathered up. And I was quickly just looking up some statistics on ICEBOX for Paradox previously. They lost to Nebula 13-11 on this map the other day, where the lineup was Exempt on the Raze, Indy on the Sage, Azo on the Viper, Delusion on the Sova, and Nation on the Killjoy. Massive change up for the composition that we've got now for Paradox.
Yeah, one would warrant a Viper on a map like ICEBOX, especially starting off attack. You're able to set up that wall, split off mid and B, and really get a very far forward position and maybe set up for these 3 doors. Swap out maybe the Sova even, and starting to play with it. But yeah, Paradox really confusing everyone here with their pick. And the Azo tries to capitalize off the Hunter's Fury, knives high for Indy, as he's able to train back. 1 kill though, Clutchy, ever prevalent on this A site. Lockdown comes down, and Paradox again in a sticky scenario.
Just looking to shape up to be a very one-sided affair. If it's 9-3, it's not too far disastrous like a 12-0 or a 11-1, but still 9-3 if it turns out to that is still quite devastating. Clutchy just holding on this line. Nation doesn't completely clear it on through, and now it's just going to be down to Exempt. Clutchy's just getting up close and personal right now, clearing everything very rapidly. And the Blades will get it done in the end as well. So there you do have it, folks. 9-3. It's going to be the half-time conclusion scoreline. And now I really do just wonder for Paradox, because, you know, duelists, if you've got more, usually that does favor an offensive lineup. They now go to the defensive side, Tony. Are they going to get anything here?
It hasn't even been too bad, I guess, from their duelist play. Nation, Indy, they're doing numbers. It's been really a lackluster performance here from Azo in this second map. We saw him pop off first, maybe has fallen a bit out of favor in this second. McBTS, you can see Zenkoko and Tensai now starting to be in their element a little bit more. 9-3 on the half, and Paradox, they're going to need pistol and then some to really even this back up.
Yeah, they would almost need to get 6 in a row, one would think. Shut down them on the bonus round as well. Get another rifle round under their belt if possible. And really start to find their footing on this defensive side in the beginning. Clutchy has eaten the paint shells for dinner. It will be healed up. Exempt going to spot out something. So this big old lean for McBTS to this A site will actually net in them losing the first frag.
Yeah, McBTS losing Clutchy early, unfortunate for them. Paradox pretty comfortable with these sheriffs, though. Nation going to be caught in kitchen. Sheriff retrieved by Sicko. No, towards B they will go. A's though in a very far forward position towards middle. Indy can hear the footsteps now, overwhelmed as B's site. He's not going to get checked for the moment and will pay off to his success. Zenkoko to peek the kitchen. Koro to finally take Indy towards that yellow box. And Paradox, well, they can still start to mount this defense, not if Delusion's whiffing shots like that. Zenkoko finds that kill, and now they have perfect post-plant positioning here.
And the flank is being held out from Azo. Azo finding 3 in the round so far. Will need the 4th. It's all onto Tensai. His position known as well, and it is going to be Azo to find the 4th in the end. The Battle Sage coming through to find the pistol round for Paradox. Is this the start of something new for them? It definitely needs to be.
Just as you think McBTS have the footing and the groundwork to really take that round, Paradox turn it back on its head, and beautiful flank kills being found there by Azo, 3 and 4 subsequent to close it. Paradox now with a bit of a lifeline, a raft into that ever so vast ocean that McBTS have thrown them in.
Alrighty. Treading water right now. BTS still floating on top. A couple more rounds for Paradox and they might start to sink a little bit. Again, it's going to be exempt on the get-go of the round with the paint shells out, and they're going to find Clutchy yet again. He's just going to be asking for some heals, a little bit of a repeat of the previous round for now. You do have Azo with the Vandal purchased on up. Going to fall back. You got 3 players here for Paradox. 1 Nation pushing through mid. Indy looking to hold down B by himself. Plant looking at the established if possible for McBTS right now as Sicko finds the first frag in the round for them. Is that all we are going to see? Azo 3 on the round. He's going to double it down again. Back-to-back 4Ks from him. His team is in his backpack right now.
I feel, yeah, definitely now on the shoulders of Azo, and I feel those subsequent kills, those 2 4Ks now propel Azo's confidence back into this one. Paradox, now that probably shoots the momentum back up in their favor. Of course, McBTS really had them on lock that first half, but Paradox finding that first pistol, a good start. A second on top of that, Paradox are feeling themselves back into it. Now, bonus here, McBTS have the guns, and this is going to be up to Paradox to keep McBTS on hold.
Big open up the Nation right now. 10 side down for the count. This is the purchase to come through from BTS, remember. And with the poison clad over towards Boiler, there is some vision non-available for the side of Paradox, but also likewise for BTS right now. The creep up from Indy, the flank. This is going to be really powerful if you can find 1 frag or 2. Delusion, though, getting off the line at the wrong time, and it's going to be to his dismay. He will fall down. It's going to be Indy's time to see if he can do one better. The gun barrel has been seen. Clutchy though turns. Oh, the shots from Indy. They're a little bit too preemptive, and he will still manage to find the frag. Dash away into the wall very rapidly. So 3 versus 3. The plant's down, Tony.
And, well, Senkoko's cooking up something in the kitchen, finding Nation, though. Exempts a quick trade here, but spikes down for McBTS. Both towards this B side. The long play for both of them. Sicko towards Yellow, Core up on top of the box. Except can send the bomb bot out there. Very crucial kill. Initial being found by Sicko. Now it's left to Indy. 1v2. Knows the position of 1. Doesn't know where Core lie in wait. Though Sicko's just playing for the time. He's playing for the peak. Even going to take it in the end. McBTS finally finding double digits on the board after a bit of a resurgent Paradox coming into this half.
Yeah, the first 2 rounds on the board for Azo, of course, on that pistol, and then on the Vandal purchase into the next one, able to find those 2 4Ks. But now, feels like when BTS have the rifles, that they are just back into it. Ignore the first 2 rounds for them. They are doubling the scoreline of Paradox right now. And this is where we get into the nitty-gritty of the game. This is where we get into the deeper diving into those strats and actually see what Paradox's defenses are going to be made of. Indy has purchased up the Operator into this one. Is a little bit late to the party, though, on the line of sight. You're going to see Exempt throughout the paint shells once more. And I really just do wonder for Paradox. Can they gather this round? They surely need it.
This is a big one for them. If McBTS spill 11, it potentially spills out of Paradox's hands and maybe onto our 3rd map. Of course, that is, I believe, split just after this. Exempts a nice initial fight being taken on to Clutchy. Delusion able to find another. Hunter's Fury, though, lands. Cora lands another kill. Azo immediately with a res, though. It's a res answered, though. Azo in the back of this site lining up 2 is so crucial to shut down this attack from BTS. They're still looking for it, though.
Yeah, you're going to have that reveal come on through as well. Exempt will slide on out, able to find Tensai, and now with the spike down, it's all on a Sicko. Paint shells to buy a little bit of extra time for Paradox. Is going to send in the recon bolt, 20 seconds until he next has, the recon bolt, sorry, it was the shock dart that he managed to send on in. Now he has to just navigate his way around the maze that is the A site. There's one onto Nation, will elevate, see if he can spot anything on out. It's going to be the Operator line. The shot missed out, he catches 1. But it's going to be Exempt to at least be there to get the trade in the end. And Paradox, they will hold on very, very tightly still.
That was a cheeky little drop shot there to come in. Paradox able to stabilize. 6 now on the board for them. And, well, you saw Azo now shot up the board. We want to see the same from Delusion. Ults available for Exempt and Indie. And, well, if any time's around to take it, it's this and the next one. BTS still on double digits. Paradox, though, with the rifle advantage in this one. It's going to be Eco for McBTS. Indie opting for the AWP here over towards this B alongside.
Posted operator from Indie. Nearly slipped into the AWP there. We'll bring it back.
Yeah.
The AWP. The AWP with an accent. 1-on-1 trades coming on through right now. No resurrections available. If that shot was hit, I probably would have left my chair, but in toward the A site with it to go, and Azo is here. Indie actually manages to find Clutchy, peeking on through. There's Azo, expected though from Zenkoko. You go, Zenkoko. 2 on the board, 2 on the trot, a minute to go. The spike is down though, so McBTS will have to navigate a way back in to get it. The Viper's pit might actually be utilized here if they need.
They have to deal with Delusion and Exempt. Delusion holding from the mid line. Exempt over towards Snowman. Paint shells come out. Toxic screen goes up. Recon comes out from Delusion. Pinging for info, but welcome to my world, says McBTS. Viper's pit goes up. Spike retrieved. Toxic screen goes down, and McBTS are looking to sneak through the Snowman side and maybe wrap on into Exempt, but he's changed his position. He's over towards middle here with Delusion. 20 seconds now on the clock. BTS need to get the spike down, but they need to take these first initial fights. Delusion tries to sneak through the Viper's pit, but it's Zenkoko's domain to meet the demise here. McBTS find 11. Paradox now with their tail between their legs. They're on an eco Dion, and it is looking very scary.
Zenkoko finds his call to action in that round with 4 on the board on that Viper. Started off, and then they settle down, you know, wait to see if Paradox are going to overextend, if they're going to get a little bit sweaty in that round and look to really bring it on back. But it goes to McBTS, and now they are 1 away from finding map point. 1 away after the fact to try and send us into the 3rd map for today. And Indie is just looking to send it straight away, missing 2 blades though, and now he's vulnerable, punished, down for the count.
Yeah, that's, I guess, a Hail Mary push there from Indie, trying to find anything, maybe get an early kill on the board and instill some hope into Paradox, because they're bleeding out after that last round. It said, as I said, of course, a crucial round to find. Delusion able to find Zenkoko, and they found some kills for both sides. McBTS, though, have overwhelmed and overran this B site for the moment. Tensai, very nice position here, holding for the tube push from Delusion, and McBTS have everything set up for this post play.
They could even use their lockdown if they want to right now, just to buy a little bit of extra time and to force Paradox into submission. Clutchy, though, in getting up into the kitchen, you might have found the right ingredients in this round to cook up something very, very tasteful. The aim is a little bit awkward, but the shot is there at the end, and he got some extra information as well on towards Exempt, who with the classic is able to find Sicko. And as Azo finds Koro, it was scary for a second there, for a millisecond. But McBTS, they hold on. It's 12-6 now, Tony. It's looking to get 1 step closer towards split.
Yeah, Paradox, their map pick, and it would seem that the side of McBTS, they want to pull the reverse card against them. You take our map pick, we'll take yours, and we'll go to the 3rd decider split, of course. And I haven't seen too much of either side on split. We haven't seen them pick it in recent times. Of course, I look at the statistics here for Paradox, and their split, of course, a 0% win rate as well, but it would seem my statistics are a little wrong, because they were the ones to pick ICEBOX, and they have a 0% win rate on this map as well.
Yeah, Paradox picks this one, and off the get-go of this new round as well. It's not going swimmingly for them whatsoever, though Nation is able to at least answer back and find 1 in return. Remember, in my mindset, there is the Empress now available for Nation, but there's also that lockdown available for Tensai, who is starting to find a frag in this one as well. Really looking to shut things down. Nation should have been able to find that frag, but unfortunately not. It's all on the shoulders of Indie. A 1 versus 4 finds the first one in the mix. The resurrection is available too, and this is the situation where you just don't expect BTS to give up the opportunity to give a frag away to Indy, although might have seen it.